We as humans have forgotten the importance of sunlight in our life. Whenever we wake up, the only source of light that we gather is from smartphones, laptops, or other artificial device that humans have made. We often scroll on our phones in the morning and scroll till we get tired. That is the most destructive habit for your physiology. Over the years, we as humanity have forgotten the role of sunlight in our evolution. Nowadays, we work from home, work indoors, we get less and less sunlight. Our main source of light is artificial light, but it wasn't like this 10,000 years ago. And thousands of years ago, when humans were evolving, sunlight was the cause, one of the biggest causes of human evolution. Not only us, millions of other animals and millions of other species evolved from sunlight. Sunlight is the key to our physiology and biology because we are animals within. One of the best habits that I have created is getting sunlight immediately after waking up in the morning. I wake up around 7 a.m. Immediately after waking, I just go and get 10-15 minutes of sunlight. This is the greatest habit that I have created in the past 2 months, and it will stick for the rest of my life because of the psychological and physical benefits that I have experienced. One of the greatest effects of sunlight on us is the ability to feel alert. I usually do this every day in the morning. I have coffee after I get my sunlight. The reason why is because when you let your sunlight into your eyes, it goes through these optic nerves. Those nerves have the signal that goes to the brain. And the region of the brain that is really important here is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, the master clock of the brain, the master clock of the body. That is what controls our circadian rhythms, the biological clock, as we say. Sunlight hits suprachiasmatic nucleus, and from there are projections that go to the pineal gland. The pineal gland reduces or suppresses the production of melatonin. Melatonin is produced in our body naturally, and sunlight suppresses melatonin. It reduces melatonin. You feel more alert. This eliminates the requirement of coffee, but I still do drink it to maintain the focus that I require when I'm doing work after getting sunlight. The next is having high quality sleep. I'm not only talking about better sleep, but also the quantity of the sleep and the onset of the sleep. The onset meaning you will feel tired earlier at night. So if your normal bedtime is at 11 and if you wake up generally at 7, however, the onset of the sleep is basically early. I tend to feel tired now at like 9:30. I want to go to bed. So that it's really beneficial because it creates a sleep pressure on your brain. You voluntarily decide you will be in bed early. This is one of the greatest impacts that drives your voluntary behavior towards sleeping. The next thing I've experienced is experiencing better mood. This is basically due to neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine. Those neurotransmitters will be produced in the adequate amount so that your emotions and your mood is generally positive. This is what I've experienced, and this is what you may experience too. The next thing that happens is your circadian rhythms are set. Your circadian rhythms are biological clocks in your body. Now, these clocks are clocks based on specific productions of proteins based on the gene transcription. So every cell has their own DNA, and every cell has their own timing of when to produce a particular protein from the gene. When there is a synchronization of circadian rhythm, everything happens on a time by time basis. One of the things that happens is that there is a synthesis of clock proteins, and these clock proteins regulate the circadian rhythm. They set the biological clock as well. These clock proteins have the ability to influence a bunch of different systems in your body: the autonomic nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system. These three systems are very essential for your normal function of the day, and those systems will basically work better because it is highly dependent on sunlight. The sunlight will be noticed by the suprachiasmatic nucleus and then will actually set your biological rhythm. Autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system that you are unconscious about. For example, you cannot control your heart rate at all. It's under an autonomic control, basically automatic. One of the things that happen is there is a increased in heart rate variability. Increase in heart rate variability basically means that your heart is better able to withhold physical stress because your heart basically pumps blood all day long. It has to have a variable heart rate. Your heart rate changes along the day. Your heart rate has a circadian component to it. It has to change based on your body's metabolic needs. So heart rate variability is a very good thing. When you get enough sunlight, adequate sunlight, there is an increased heart rate variability. Body works better and responds better under stress because your heart is functioning well. Many of you have heard the endocrine system. And the endocrine system is responsible for producing bunch of different hormones that then go and signal a bunch of different organs in the body. So one example that I'm going to give you is testosterone. There's an increase in testosterone. Now, I don't have devices that can measure my own testosterone, but I could feel through my positive emotions because testosterone is really linked with dopamine. Dopamine and testosterone are highly associative. And so when you have an increased dopamine, there's generally some component of testosterone involved. Like there's some influence of testosterone in it. When your well-being goes up and when you make positive goals and when you feel that you are in a state of mind that is highly competitive, there's high possibility that your testosterone is going up. Next thing is the reduction in insulin resistance. Research shows that if you're sleep deprived, your body will suffer in handling the glucose. That's basically the pre-diabetic phase. If you have poor quality sleep for long years, have poor diet, no physical activity, you will be diabetic over time. However, if you get sunlight, your body's ability to manage glucose will be better. That means whatever junk you're eating, whatever the carbs you're eating, some people are on vegetarian diet, your body will be able to manage glucose much better via insulin because insulin is the hormone that increases the uptake of glucose into our cells in the body. Lastly, we're going to talk about immune system. Now, immune system has been a buzzword over COVID and everything. Having enough and adequate sunlight could also give you better immunity. The immune system's ability to fight infection will go up. And actually, what I have experienced is that 2 months ago, I would have runny noses when I would wake up. But after getting consistent sunlight over the past 2 months, I don't experience any sort of allergic reaction in the mornings. And so sunlight has really helped me in that aspect. And also I haven't gotten COVID in the past 2 months, so it has been a really plus for me. When people were talking about how vitamin D affected COVID, they were sort of right because vitamin D is produced in the body in response to sunlight. Sunlight gives you vitamin D, and people who weren't getting COVID had high vitamin D because their immunity was. Hope you learned something from this video. It was really important to address the impacts of sunlight on your physiology and biology. Along with other habits like sleeping and meditation, getting enough sunlight is also one of the key behavioral interventions in your lifestyle because it really sets your biology. It makes you connected with nature, and that is what is important for improving your health over time.